Hey everybody, Mike Chipperini at Chipper's Island Adventures, and boy, has it been a while since I've shot a video. So today I figured I'd catch you up on a couple things that I've done, along with a preview of some of the things that are coming up. So hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I think it's been, gosh, I don't even know how long, but it's been a while since I actually shot more of a timely video. A lot of my videos have been playing catch up with the trips I've been on, such as when I went over to Liverpool, England, London, and then Sicily, and then that was followed up with some other videos, and then followed up again with my trip out to Las Vegas. So now I'm back at home base. I've been here for a while, here in Gloucester, Mass. But I've been extraordinarily busy. Here in Gloucester, this time of year, it gets very busy with picking up leaves and all that good stuff. It is fall here. And you have the other side of it, which is prepping for winter. So I've been tied up with a lot of that stuff. However, I do want to get back to the Travato, because two things were going on when I last left off. And one was the Aluminess Ladder tire carrier. So I want to show you the final product here. And this is what it's looking like. Isn't that nice? So one of the problems I had was this, which holds the whole tire onto the carrier. And because of the width of it, it's more of a universal in case there's a bigger hub. Well, I didn't know it went on like that, so I had to order a new tire cover because the other tire cover didn't have a hole to accommodate this locking device. And basically what this locking device is, this is a plate that comes off with 4 Allen screws, which they provide you with the little wrench, and I have it hanging inside. And then inside is a big nut or a big bolt that goes all the way through that you have to take off with a ratchet. And you need the type of ratchet that's about that long as opposed to the short stubby ones, because it has to get inside. But I love this tire carrier. Now, some of you may say, if you didn't like the ladder, why don't you just get the new extendable ones that are coming with the newer Travatos? Well, I thought about that, I really did, but I wanted a spare tire. I really feel better with that, because, you know, when I'm traveling, I may be out in the middle of nowhere, and I know there are horror stories where people talk about how it takes them 4 hours to get a wrecker or a tow truck or whatever. And I prefer to be more independent. So that's why I wanted the spare tire. Plus, hey, I got a place to put a tire cover on. And to add to it, I have a beautiful ladder. And that ladder is pretty lightweight. The real weight actually comes from the tire itself. And then you have these steps on the side that I've showed you before. And 1, 2, and then another one down here. But you have to make sure you keep these closed. And the tire, the ladder install, it wasn't that bad. I would say take your time putting it on. It's a little bit more involved than you think, but everything works out pretty well. The other thing I had to do was you got to put your license plate mount on under the tire, and that license plate mount comes with its own light that you have to wire into the existing lighting. So basically what I did is I drilled a little hole above the old license plate, meaning where the lighting is, not through the chassis, but through the part of the license plate, a plastic part of it, and ran a wire up through, and then I spliced it into the existing license plate lighting wires, and it works great. So that's my Aluminess ladder. I love it. If you have any comments on it, feel free to comment in the comments below. And I really like it. Very happy with it. Let's go to part 2. And that is the Onan 2800i generator debacle. So what happened is, I came out here one day to do my monthly test and exercising of my generator. I pressed the start button inside, I got nothing. And I was like, huh, what's going on here? So, long story short, I determined there was something wrong with the generator, because one, I had power to the generator. I took a voltage meter, went up underneath, and that generator, just so you know, runs off of the chassis battery, not the house battery. It starts off the chassis battery. That's where it gets its start from. So I know I had power going to it. What I didn't have was power that went from the generator input to the generator itself. What it turned out to be was lack of continuity in the electrical harness, which is part of the generator. What that actually means, I'm really not sure of. I brought it to a service center and they told me that. But what they also told me was, even if they put that new harness in there, which would cost X amount of dollars, because of the lack of continuity and the problem with the harness, it may have fried the inverter. So what I ended up doing was, I went ahead and got a brand new 2800i. Now I have a 2-year warranty on it. I put out the money for it, and it was quite a bit of coin, and I'm hoping I do not have another problem with this. Now, with all that said and done, let's go ahead and turn it on. Here we go. Now you notice this is not reset. I've ran it for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, but I'm going to call my start time with this generator at 40 hours, just rounding up a little bit. But there is a way to reset this. I'm not worried about it. I'm just going to leave it as so. And you can probably hear the generator running. If we go over to the muffler side, you'll hear it purring like a kitten. Look at that. I love it. I love it. But what's wild is, it sounds a little louder in the back, like there's a fan on or a muffler leak, and I'm not sure what that is. So I'm going to crawl underneath here right now and show you what I mean. Here, some ventilation occurring, but it sounds a little bit louder, like there's a fan going. So I'm not sure. But it runs great. So as you can see, looking underneath here, I can see a little bit more airflow, and I can feel airflow, and there's a little bit of condensate under the generator. I'm not sure if that's normal. If you go over to the muffler, you can see there is condensate coming out of there too. I'm not sure if we should have condensate coming from where the muffler goes into the generator or runs by it or whatever. So we'll find out about that. I already talked to the service company, and they did in fact say that if I'd like, I could drive out there and the service guy would get underneath while the generator's running to determine whether everything's fine or not. But the other option was to send them a video, so I just took a little video with my iPhone, and I'll send that to them, see what they say. Generator runs great. You know, it just sounds a little different, but it may be an upgrade to the Onan 2800 with a fan that helps circulate the air better, or in fact maybe my old Onan generator, that fan was inoperable, which hence led to maybe the generator overheating and frying that harness. So who knows? I don't know. That's it for the updates on my Travato 59K while I still have my generator running. Other updates that are coming, I'm going to do a winterization on this, and I'm also going to show you what I do when I want to dump my black tank if I'm not at a campground. I'll show you the process I use here. And no, I just don't pull it up to the side of the road and open up the latch. I don't do that. So I hope you appreciate this update. Very busy here at Chippers Island. Leaves are coming down. Winter's coming. Got to do the winter prep, flushing out, blowing out my irrigation systems, getting that all squared away. We've had some trees cut down recently. One was really dead. We took care of that one. And just been a very busy time here. Plus, I'm back to the gym. Been working out really hard up there because I like to stay in shape. And I wish you all the best. By the way, speaking of generators, I made a decision, should I ever have this issue again, I'm just going to get a portable generator that produces about the same amount of amps as this one does. And that amount is probably, you know, in the range of 3,000 watt generator. This is a 2800. And in order to figure out the number of amps you get out of a generator, you divide the wattage by volts. So 2800 divided by 120 volts is going to give you about 23 amps, which is what you get when you look at your system's monitor inside. And there it will say that you're receiving 23 amps from this 2800i. If you do the math and you were to get, say, a 3,000 watt generator, then you would probably get about 25 amps off that generator, which is more than you're getting off this. And I was researching, they have a number of generators with a 30 amp connecting socket, so you can run your Travato 59K, which is a 30 amp service. Some generators at that size do not have that, but if you look around, you'll see they do have them, and they're pretty small, and all you have to do is carry it on board, and if you need it, go ahead and use it. And what I recommend is just make sure you lock it up so nobody walks away with it, so if it's outside. So in a nutshell, if I ever have this problem again where the 2800 dies after the warranty's expired, then I'm just going to pick up a portable. I'm done with that. That was a big expense, and that's about all I got to say. So if you like this video, feel free to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to my channel. All the best to all, and happy adventure.